miles of taking those pictures without the victim's consent. And many a time these victims get to be vulnerable and it can actually affect them psychologically. There is an important topic we need to discuss on this YouTube channel. Let's talk about revenge porn in Nigeria. Revenge porn in Nigeria is actually unlawful, and I know many people are not aware that there is a law regulating revenge porn in Nigeria. During the course of the week, I actually read of a story of I read the news of a Nollywood actress whose nudes, like explicit materials, were shared on the social media, and it was alleged that the Nollywood actress, I actually don't know her name so well, so it was alleged that her estranged partner actually shared those nudes on the social media, and we really need to talk about this. And I saw some comments on the social media. I read some comments on the social media when many people actually said things like she must have sent those nudes to the man, or maybe the man actually took those nudes of the lady without like she wasn't looking, like she was not aware. So what is actually important here when we talk about revenge pornography, what is important here is someone has actually sent explicit materials of a particular person, like the victim, without the person's consent. Without the person's consent is a material thing. The fact that the woman, as it was alleged, that she sent those nudes to someone, that fact is immaterial. So let's talk about it. Some people also of the opinion that we women, everyone, like not just women, everyone should stop the act of sharing those materials, sending explicit materials with their partners, like when they think, when everything is going on well, like thing can actually get bad, and the partner can now may want to revenge, particularly if the person has been heartbroken. It is immaterial. That is immaterial because I am of the opinion that just like those comments I read on the social media, it is possible for that person to take those pictures when that person, for example, husband and wife living in a house, definitely there'll be a lot of things happening between them. So you can't say that a woman or a man need to be extra careful when he or she is in the house with his or her spouse. Okay, so we saying that women or men should stop sharing explicit materials. It is actually a valid opinion, but however, many people can still go the extra miles of taking those pictures without the victim's consent. And many a time, these victims get to be vulnerable and it can actually affect them psychologically. This particular revenge porn is actually an offense under the Nigerian law. It is covered by the Criminal Code and also by the Cyber Crimes Act of 2015. And I've actually made a video about cyberbullying. It is a form of cyberbullying. Sharing explicit materials on the social media is a form of cyberbullying. According to Section 24 of the Cyber Crimes Act of 2015, it's actually, now I'm paraphrasing, basically that section is talking about when someone has shared explicit materials or pornographic materials, indecent materials. Those are the words that is being used in that act. Shared it on through the use of computer without the person's consent. There are about four things in that particular definition, in that particular provision of the law, that I feel it is very, very crucial. One is intention. If that person have actually shared those materials knowingly, intention is important. Okay, because it is possible for someone's phone to be tapped and those materials can as well be shared. I'm also of that opinion. But number one thing is, before one can be guilty of cyberbullying under the Cyber Crimes Act, when it comes to revenge porn, number one is there must be an intention to actually share those explicit materials on the social media. So number two is it must be through the use of computer. That is actually the words of the wordings in that particular act. And we can also think about it. What if those images are being printed and being pasted on a particular place? Does that mean this particular provision of the law will not be applicable? So those are just the little lacuna that we have in that particular provision of Section 24 of the Cyber Crimes Act. There must be an intention. Number two, it must be through the use of computer. Number three, it must be explicit materials. So we are saying pornography, we are saying indecent materials and all of that. And number four, without the victim's consent. Those are the four elements that I have been able to actually deduce from that from the wordings of Section 24 of the Cyber Crimes Act. Okay, so we also need to talk about this aspect of what if it is being printed, like I mentioned earlier. It is possible for a judge to still use his or her wisdom to think it is irrelevant that the material is being printed, okay, because since the wordings is being shared through the use of a computer, so this way the person has been able to the person actually, let's say the perpetrator printed those materials, okay, and it's been pasted. So it is possible for a judge to still use his or wisdom or discretion. Well, it is possible to still make deem it fit like it is irrelevant that those materials were not shared through the use of computers. A trend of this happening. I actually don't want to mention names, and as a matter of fact, I know there has been a trend, but I don't know the names or the identity of those persons who has been involved. But I could remember a time where I saw something about Tiwa Savage. Yeah, I did not see it actually. I read about it. So about Tiwa Savage and a lot like that. I know I've been hearing news of a lot. I've been reading it in the news of a lot of trends about this revenge porn, and I think it is necessary. So if you're watching this video and you're one of those persons, you actually need to stop that. There is nothing to gain when you want to pull someone down psychologically. You just want to make the person vulnerable. You want to make the person to have a sort of low self-esteem. Okay, so what are the remedies if you're a victim of this revenge porn? What are the remedies that is available? Number one thing is you can go to report that case to the Nigerian police. Yeah, I know the Nigerian police, many people are not, doesn't feel good about going there to report a case, but those are the persons, those are the agency that is the agency that can actually handle things like this, not the EFCC, not the DSS. Okay, so meet with them. The good part is if such materials is yet to be shared on the social media, they can always track that particular contact. I know many a time it will happen in a way, maybe someone is trying to extort you to get money from you, and the person is threatening you to actually share some explicit materials on the social media that you are involved in, like materials that have your face and all of that. So you can use that person's contact if you don't know the identity of who that perpetrator, or who that, how can I put it now, who that of the identity of the person that has been calling you. So when you get to the police station, they can always track that person, and that person will be arrested, and they can as well prosecute that person. This particular offense under the section 24 of the Cyber Crimes Act of 2015, it actually attracts the fine of 7 million naira, or fine of 3 years imprisonment, 7 million naira fine, or 3 years imprisonment, or both. So it all depends on the judge. Basically, either it is 7 million naira fine or 3 years imprisonment. The judge may as well make the two. Okay, so that is basically what I have for you on revenge porn. And if you have any question, please do well to send, drop a comment in the comment section, or just send it via my email address. If you are a victim and you feel what can you do, and you know the identity of the person, even if you don't know the identity of the person, but you know a way that that person can be tracked, so that is actually a good one. So if you don't want to send me a message in the comment section, you can always send that message via my email address. Thank you so much, and I will see you in another video.